Hello and welcome to Golden Health Method. My name is Dr. Sean Golden, and in this video we're going to be discussing one of the key components that makes a diet healthy. With all of the different fad diets going around right now, whether it's keto or carnivore or vegan or pescatarian or all of these different types of diets, people are confused about, what actually makes a diet healthy. Can I just choose any one of these diets and they'll all be healthy? Well, that doesn't really make sense. What are the actual components that unifies diets together and has been shown long-term in human studies to contribute to health? Why are these areas where people routinely live over 100, these blue zones around the world, these pockets where people live so long, what do their diets have in common? And why does a Mediterranean diet consistently get over and over positive health benefits? What's in that diet that actually makes it healthy? Well, in this video we're going to be breaking down one of the key components on what makes a diet healthy, and that is polyphenols. So if you've never heard of polyphenols before, it's a very scary or complicated sounding word, but all it really is, it's including all of the different things in fruits, vegetables, legumes like beans, lentils, nuts, all of these foods that give the foods their smell, it gives them their color, it helps give them their taste, and it's responsible for so many positive health benefits. So if you look at a berry, the polyphenols are what give the berry that purple color. Or if you look at nuts, it's what gives nuts the different types of colors and taste and smells that comes from those nuts. All different whole foods contain their own types of polyphenols, but it's one of the unifying components of the diet that makes that diet healthy. So polyphenols, it's kind of an umbrella term. It encompasses proanthocyanins, catechins, tannins, carotenoids, all different types of phytonutrients. It's pretty much a lot of the things that are in the fruit, vegetable, or food that isn't technically classified as a vitamin or mineral, but it's a very, very important part of that food that keeps you healthy. So let's break down in this video what polyphenols actually do and why they're so important when you're talking about constructing a good diet or having a good diet. So the first thing, polyphenols are, well, they're actually what make you healthy. So when you look at the different types of food that healthy societies eat, when people say eat whole foods, eat unprocessed foods, one of the reasons why is so that we are actually keeping these polyphenols in the foods. When you take, rye bread or even wheat bread or anything and you refine it, you mill it down and kind of reduce it to its basic parts, you end up getting rid of a lot of the positive nutrients that are in that food. You get rid of the magnesium, you get rid of the B vitamins. We fortify the B vitamins back in, but you also get rid of the polyphenols, and those are not fortified back in. And it's one of the reasons why refined food, processed food, packaged food typically is not going to be nearly as healthy as regular food. When I say polyphenols are one of the things that make food healthy, literally when you think about a food like an apple, and you think about what's in an apple, it's over 95% water, and then you have a few percent of fiber, a few percent of sugar, and then you have a little sprinkle of some vitamins and minerals. But if you took a glass of water and you filled it 90-something% of the way with water, and then you put in some fiber, you put in some sugar, and you sprinkled in some vitamins and minerals, it would not have the same health benefits as an apple would, because you're missing a crucial ingredient. You're missing the polyphenols. That's what actually gives the apple its color and its taste. And it's more concentrated in the skin, which is why the skin of the apple is healthier than the inner part. But it's one of the big reasons that fruits have such beneficial health benefits, because really it's just mainly fiber and water and sugar, and those ingredients on their own are not responsible for the tremendous health benefits we can get from fruits, and that key component that we're missing are the polyphenols. So let's talk about how polyphenols actually make you healthy. They're one of the best antioxidants that we can get. So when you think of antioxidants, most people think of like vitamin C, vitamin E. They're thinking about these isolated antioxidants. And the thing about antioxidant research is that when you look at all of the human studies where they give large doses of a single antioxidant or even a few antioxidants like vitamin C, vitamin E, selenium, all different antioxidants but one, just a single antioxidant, they tend not to get good results. Most of the time they just get no results. Every once in a while they'll get negative results. Like there was a study showing that supplementing with beta carotene, which is one of the antioxidants in things like carrots that are responsible for making the carrot orange, high doses of beta carotene when given to those with lung cancer actually increased or decreased their survival. It made them worse. And the difference between giving isolated antioxidants and getting antioxidants from foods in the form of polyphenols is that when you eat a food like an apple or like beans or nuts, you're not just getting a few different molecules of antioxidants. You're getting literally a synchrony, like hundreds up to thousands of different chemicals that are all contributing as antioxidants. And so you're not overloading your antioxidant system with just one. You're giving it a vast array of antioxidants. And the way I kind of will explain this to people is if you have any sort of chemistry background, you'll know that if you take a strong acid or a strong base, neither one of those will do well in a human body. We kind of want things to be in the middle. So if we keep adding a strong acid or a strong base, it can either shoot one way or shoot the other way. And neither one of those polar extremes is going to be good for us. In the same way with antioxidants, you can have, tons of pro-oxidative stress, pro-oxidants, which is going to be a bad thing in one direction, or you can have actually too much antioxidants. You can have what's called reductive stress. So if you give overloads of too much antioxidants, it could actually have the negative effect. One of the ways it could do that is it can actually make our own body produce less antioxidants because it's getting it from the outside now, which is not going to be a good thing. So what these polyphenols do is they act like a buffer. They're not super strong one direction or the other. They allow either way for it to get more into balance. So it's kind of like a big buffer system to buffer against too much oxidative stress and to buffer against reductive stress. Because you're having these, hundreds of thousands of molecules all interacting with each other, it does a much better job at actually regulating our body and to perform what we think antioxidants should actually perform. But again, when you give large doses of single antioxidants, the results don't tend to be as good. So getting them from food is actually providing the benefit that we think antioxidants should give us. The next thing they do is the polyphenols, they actually increase our own antioxidant system. So like I said, when you take isolated or synthetic antioxidants and you put too much in our system, like you just overload vitamin C or vitamin E in our system, it can actually reduce the amount of antioxidants that our body naturally creates. I'm not going to go into what those are, but we have a whole antioxidant defense system where we create our own antioxidants, and we don't want those to go down. The really cool thing about polyphenols is that they actually activate different genes in our body to increase our antioxidant defense system. So it's actually making our own body stronger and fighting, oxidative stress better. It's kind of like what exercise does. When you exercise, it increases your body's ability. One of the things that it does is it increases your body's ability to make its own antioxidants better and more effectively. And polyphenols share some of that benefit that exercise will provide you. Now, it's not going to be a replacement for exercise. You should get both, but it just all goes along with a healthy lifestyle. Exercise, polyphenols, both of those things are going to increase your body's ability to produce its own antioxidants. Why would you want your body to produce its own antioxidants? Why would you want all of these antioxidants, floating around your body? What benefit is that going to actually, tangibly provide you? Well, a couple is that they will decrease blood pressure if your blood pressure is high, and they can reduce the stiffening of the arteries. So multiple studies have shown this, and I'll put some links at the bottom of this video so you can check out some of the research if you're interested. But over and over we see that when you either supplement with polyphenols or you increase polyphenols in the diet by just adding foods into the diet that are naturally high in polyphenols, then we see a couple things happen. High blood pressure naturally goes down. That's one of the main ways of how we can actually regulate our blood pressure with diet. Now, most people know about, don't overload the salt, especially refined table salt. If you have high blood pressure, make sure you take enough potassium, drink enough water, those type of things. What most people don't know is that blood pressure is a result of oxidative stress in the arteries. Even if it comes from salt, even if it comes from potassium deficiency, the underlying reason is due to oxidative stress in the arteries. The arteries can no longer expand and dilate and have the elasticity that they should, because they're constantly being bombarded by reactive chemicals. So we want to provide our body with enough, a vast array of different types of antioxidants, and that's what the polyphenols are, but also allow our body to increase its own antioxidants to combat the stress itself, so that you don't have to, eat the polyphenols or the antioxidants all day long, and then if you forget a dose, okay, well, you're not protected now. Your body will actually upregulate its own ability to fight oxidative stress, to fight the damage that occurs in the arteries. And that's how, over time, polyphenols, or foods that are high in polyphenols, will lower blood pressure and restore elasticity of the arteries. I just posted, actually today, on my Instagram page, a study from 2018 showing that in just 2 weeks, purple potatoes, so same thing as white potatoes, but they're just purple. They're naturally purple, and the purple are the polyphenols I've been talking about. That's what gives foods their color. So these purple potatoes, they gave 7 ounces of purple potatoes to individuals for 2 weeks. Perfectly healthy individuals, didn't even have high blood pressure, but still within 2 weeks they had a significant decline in arterial stiffness. So in 2 weeks their arteries became more elastic, which is something we definitely want to prevent cardiovascular disease of many different types. All right, next topic, or next thing. So polyphenols, they also decrease lipogenesis. What does this mean? So I'm going to go back to fruit. So a lot of people, or some people, are afraid of fruit because it has sugar in it, and they think because it has sugar, therefore it's bad. Unfortunately, they're getting the research mixed up, because all of the research that shows sugar is harmful to us is talking about pure sugar, refined sugar, or added sugar, not sugar that's in fruit already. So you might say to yourself, well, what's the difference? Sugar is sugar, right? And that's true. Sugar itself is a chemical, and it doesn't change its chemical form because it's in something else. However, the fruits come with other things that change how the sugar interacts in our body. One of the things that happens when you eat too much sugar on its own, or too much fructose or too much table sugar on its own, is you'll start overloading the amount of sugar that your liver can store. When your liver can no longer store anymore, it'll have to start converting that sugar into fat. The fat that it converts it into is a saturated fat, and it gets stored in something called triglycerides. And when you go get a blood test in your doctor's office and they check for heart health, one of the things they check, besides cholesterol levels, are triglyceride levels. And if you're on a high sugar diet, then your triglycerides are going to be elevated. Now, how does that happen? It's because the sugar gets converted into fat in the liver. That process is called lipogenesis. So when I said polyphenols decrease lipogenesis, what I'm saying is when you eat whole foods, like whole fruits, the polyphenols that are naturally found in that fruit, they decrease the ability for your body to convert those sugars into triglycerides or into fat. And this has been shown in a few studies. In one study, they found that, clear apple juice, they supplemented a group with clear apple juice for a certain number of weeks, and I'll post a study below too. But when they gave them the clear apple juice for a certain number of weeks, their low density cholesterol, the bad cholesterol, it increased in their body, in their blood. When they gave a different group of people cloudy apple juice, that means parts of the apple are still in there. The difference is it now has a little bit of polyphenols and a little bit of fiber. Both of those things actually decrease lipogenesis. They found that the cloudy apple juice did not increase LDL. It actually decreased it. And that's the difference. It changes how we handle sugar. It increases our ability to handle sugar in a proper way, which is not only why fruits have consistent health benefits, but they've been shown to actually have like anti-obesity actions. So they actually help us to keep proper weight. Multiple studies show this. And that's why fruits are a part of a healthy diet even though they contain sugar. And one of the biggest reasons is because of the polyphenols. It's not because of the vitamins and minerals, because you could take a multivitamin for that and it's not going to have the same effect. You can't get it. You can get polyphenols from supplements, but in general, to get a large amount of polyphenols and a vast different array of polyphenols, you want to get it from food. All right, last thing. Polyphenols, they protect your brain. If you've ever heard that blueberries are good for your brain, or walnuts are good for your brain, it's one of the primary reasons are because of the polyphenols that are in those foods. Walnuts also have some omega-3 fatty acids which help, but it's not the only way that they protect your brain. A large part of it has to do with the types of polyphenols that are in walnuts. They have some special types of polyphenols that particularly help with brain health. Same thing with blueberries. And it's not just blueberries, it could be cherries, or it could be grapes, or it could be, other types of fruits too. Any type of fruit that's filled with polyphenols, especially if it's a bunch of different types of fruits and vegetables and lentils and beans and nuts and all of these different types of foods that are just filled with polyphenols, they're all going to help protect brain health. One of the ways they protect is just through, like we were mentioning before, is through decreasing oxidative stress. Your brain really needs to guard against oxidative stress. It is filled with a type of fat called polyunsaturated fat. It needs this fat to function. It needs it to send electrical impulses. And the problem though is that this type of fat is very susceptible to oxidation. When you talk about omega-3s like fish oil, we know that that's good for your brain and your brain needs omega-3s. What people don't talk about is that omega-3s get oxidized like this, which is why I keep mine in the freezer, by the way, and you should too. But omega-3s get oxidized so easily, and a large amount of the fatty acids in the brain can get oxidized very, very easily. They constantly need protection. One of the primary ways that they protect themselves is through vitamin E. That's primary, but it's not complete. And something that really, really helps protect your brain are these polyphenols, which is why berries and other foods like nuts are consistently associated with positive effects in terms of brain health during aging. It can help reduce dementia, it can help reduce other types of degenerative brain disorders and help improve memory or keep memory as we age. And it does that by allowing our brain to keep functioning at a very optimal level without getting some destruction going on by these reactive molecules. And like we said before, the polyphenols also increases your body's ability to protect itself by increasing its own antioxidant defense system. So that's it for today, guys. I hope this video helped you. When we talk about a healthy diet, most people don't even know where to begin. And this is a very, very important first step. It's a very good place to start. If you start understanding what polyphenols are, what foods they're in, and how to look for them, and how to know, what foods has them, what doesn't, you'll begin to be able to piece together a very healthy diet. You won't have to follow, a cookie cutter approach. You won't have to guess, and you'll have a better understanding of what you're actually eating and how it's actually helping you. So again, guys, if you want to look at any of the research that I was talking about, I'm going to link some in the description below. Feel free to subscribe. I'm going to be going over other health information like this, so if you don't want to miss it, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you got any value out of this video, something I would super appreciate is if you would just share it, either on your feed or with someone who you think it might help or it might benefit. If you ever have any questions, I'm always here for you. Feel free to always reach out for me. You can just leave a comment below, or you can reach me on Instagram or Facebook at Golden Health Method. All right, I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon.